Okay, so I had a few minutes here to do some work on OBS. So I'd like to show you a little bit of what I've been up to and also how to stream to both Facebook and YouTube. Very simple in both cases. You do need an account, username, password, and a few bits of information you get from the site, but it's pretty simple to do whichever way you decide to go. So far, it looks like Facebook hasn't changed their policy on this type of streaming. It's more so just going straight from your phone. The limitations, but again, we'll have to wait until the season starts before we can decide exactly where we go from this. So first of all, it was always a plan of mine, but just never seemed to have the time through the season. I've changed the different cameras to scenes now. It basically works the same way, except that when you select a scene, you're getting everything the same except this final camera. So this is the close-up picture catcher camera. At the live field, you get the whole field camera. Everything else stays the same, and the first base camera, again, camera changes. Everything else stays the same, and the third base cam, everything stays the same. So I just the reason why I did that was because last year switching between cameras seemed to get clunky at times. Having now moved them to scenes, which was always a possibility, just didn't have the time. I'm still finding that there's a there's a possibility that they'll shift, as you can see here. Is that a memory thing? I'm not exactly sure, but my intention is to try to clean that up sometime between now and then, or now and the start of the season. Um, the other thing that I've been working on is returning to the scoreboard from the Game Changer app. So as you can see here, I have the Game Changer screen up on my Mimu Play, which again is an emulator. Just allows you to run an Android phone here on your computer, and so it reports back the parts of the screen that I asked it to in the last video here. And here I do the same thing with this, just to show you so that you can remember how we did it. It's basically, we don't want to do that. It's basically to have a window capture. We select the window capture. I'm going to do the bases again because they're pretty easy to do. I better call it bases 2 because I won't be able to do bases 1. It brings up the screen. If it doesn't bring up the appropriate screen, you can just change it here. And then, of course, start by selecting the entire screen. But what we're going to do is using the Alt key, hold down the Alt key, and we're going to crop out just the bases here. And Alt key, crop, whoops, Alt key, crop. Alt key, crop. Whoops. Okay, so that gives me the what I want. I can of course make it bigger or smaller. I can continue to crop it further. once I get it to the to the size that I want. Okay, and now I'm just gonna copy that and go into my where I was here and paste it. There it is. So now I can just shrink it so that it fits into where I want it to be. Anyway, one of the reason why I won't try to do that with the scores is because if I try to do that, let's see it here. There's a visitor score and home score, same thing, just a window capture, cropping and sizing. It tends to be a little bit time consuming to get them to look just the way you want them to. So since I've got it that way right now, I think I'll just stick to that and be happy with where I'm at this point. I should say the way that I did this, turn them into scenes, is I basically removed all the cameras. So like if you, this is the last camera that's there. So if I just delete that camera, now all I do is I right click and say duplicate. And it doesn't matter what the name is when you duplicate it, but what I did was, you know, the field. And then I'm going to put 2 here because it's going to create a second one of the same. And so everything that was on this one is now here. And I do that, you know, as many cameras as I need. And then I just go back and add my, either my video capture device, which in this case is my picture catcher cam. Or I can select it here, as you can see, it's already there. Okay. I'll neaten this up later, but for now, that's all we need. Okay. And then the reason why it's covering everything is because it's at the top, so I just drag my camera as always just above the microphone. And there we have it. So we're back to where we wanted. So you can create your own scenes. Of course, I'm going to remove this one because I already have a field cam. And I have my keys now set up that when I press the forward key, it goes to my picture catcher. Reverse, it changes to live field. You can see over here that it went to live field. To the left, it's going to go to third base, and I've just got that there because if the balls hit to the left, I hit the left. And then if I hit to the right, it's going to go to the first base camera. Okay, and those can be, you know, aimed wherever you wish to have them aimed. I've just got them aimed here in my basement, wherever they happen to land. But the hope is that once we get to the field, we'll be able to get some cameras on the fences, point them at the between first and second, and between second and third, and maybe get some extra quality footage sort of thing. Anyway, it's going to depend on a lot of things, but we're going to keep it going. Okay, so this scoreboard now, if we look here, stopped on me here. Let's see. Let's see if we can recover that scoreboard. Oh yeah, that locked up solid. So let's go online here, and then we'll do it. So um, the most easy way to do it is to create a profile for your stream. Okay, so in this place we're using my latest Islanders close up, which included that extra camera for the picture. But I can ask for a new one, and this doesn't actually change any of the scenes. It's just kind of the information, the settings that you're using. Um, so I'm going to say new. I'll call this one Facebook. And it's going to come up with a wizard, and this is why I recommend doing it this way, because you can go into the settings and change all these, but why not have the program sort of walk you through it, right? So we optimize for streaming, of course. You can optimize for recording, whichever you want. This will keep your settings, your bit rate down, so that you're not, forcing huge amounts of data through your internet. I don't try to trick it. I just let it give me what it recommends. It's keeping, or going to keep in mind, which service that I'm using. So we're doing Facebook first. So now we have to open my YouTube to get this, or my Facebook to get this. So I'm just going to go to my browser. Facebook. So it goes right into to my Facebook. What I have to do is I kind of have to pretend I'm going live for a moment. So I say live video. And here I can either create an event, which will put something in place saying it's starting at 2 o'clock, or I can just go live. We've been just going live at the start of the game. Whatever you can perfect is what you should do. And this is what we perfected. So this is the stream key they're talking about. It's just like a password that stops somebody else from going and streaming to your site. Obviously, you can see that, but that is actually going to change each of individual time. So by the time you watch this this video, this will no longer be my stream key, right? So anyway, so I'm copying everything that's in there just by clicking that. It copies it to my clipboard, and I go back here and I right click paste, or you can say Control V, or whatever you like to add the stream key. And it says prefer hardware encoding and estimate bit rate with bandwidth test. So this is where OBS and Facebook are going to communicate and decide at what settings you should be sending your information, and that's based on my internet, my hardware, my cameras, everything. It's gonna test it out and give me the best settings for doing that. So the bandwidth test is about to start, so I just let it go. It sends a bunch of garbage through the internet. It's basically maximizing its what you could be putting through, and it'll come back. So the video bit rate here is basically how high quality the the data is going to be that goes through, or the size of the data going through. I believe 4 to 6,000. Sometimes YouTube will allow me up to 10,000 for a bit rate. I really don't want to force it any higher. I want it to be the best quality I can get it, but I don't want it to be slow or whatever. So you kind of almost have to do this in your own area where you're going to be streaming from, and just get it based on that. Because if you do it at home and you go to the ballpark, you're probably going to be given different settings. So now OBS knows everything that it needs to know to connect to my Facebook account. Okay, so I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to add a few things. So it says titles optional. I usually put Islanders versus Royals here, and this is required. So if you don't type something in here, it won't let you start. So here I usually put like double header. At 2 p.m. Whatever. It was 1 p.m. last year, wasn't it? A little I can remember. So there. So this is already in. I've got something there. I could put number 1 and number 2. And it would let me go just as long as I put something in there. But obviously, if we can, we want to inform people what's going on. So over here, you're going to want to do public. You can just to your friends. So the only people that can see it is people who are your friends, or your, I suppose if you had a corporate account, probably your members might be up there. But in my case here, just for today, because the last time I tried one of these, I realized I was live streaming and people were watching me while I was doing so, laughing at me, wondering what the heck I was doing. So anyway, so you're going to choose public. That's how we do ours. We don't care who sees the live stream. In fact, we hope that people will tune into the live stream and then become members of the site, and then continue to follow us through the season. And again, you can do an hour later situation, but I don't. So streaming software rather than webcam. Currently, webcam straight through is limiting their abilities to stream. Seems like the streaming software is saying the same. You add your title, you add your double header, whatever your description, and now you're ready to go. So before I can go live here, I have to start my live stream over here. So let's pretend, I don't know what I added there. Nope. Oh, yeah, that was my trial at the bases. So I'm going to go to my pitch cam. We'll just pretend that we're about to start a game. I say start streaming. Now that is telling my computer to start feeding the stream to the internet, but I haven't yet told Facebook to start streaming it. So I say go live. Now my Facebook site will be showing that live stream. So I'm just going to bring this back up, and I'll shrink it a little bit if I can, so you can kind of see what's happening in the background. There we go. So here's my scene here. My scoreboard didn't come back, but I may be able to get it here while we talk. So this is is the live stream. You can see the screen is changing over here, which eventually, when we get to the game, it will show the actual score of whatever game we decide to stream. What I'm doing right here is just re-streaming a game from last year, which basically gives me the same thing, but you'd actually be watching the current game. And oh, there it is. Replay game stream. Okay, so you can see now the balls and strikes will start to come up here. It's very fast because it's re-streaming. It knows everything that happened. It's just going through it. There's ball one, ball two, etc. And you're over here. You're just, let's see here. Strike one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 seconds behind. So your computer's sending this stuff up to the internet, into Facebook. Facebook is sending it back down through their servers to the people that are watching, and there's about a 17-second delay, and that might change, by a few seconds here or there. But anyway, when you're done streaming, you just stop streaming here on OBS. And then we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Boom. So it cuts down a little quicker than it does. And what happens is it actually has also shut down my my Facebook. However, if I do shut Facebook down first, potentially this could continue to quote unquote be streaming, but it's not going to go anywhere. Like, as long as you're no longer streaming live on Facebook, everything's good. And you can move on to the next game, your next task, whatever it is. Okay, so just to go back here, so we go live. We've already put the stream key in. We're required to put a title. We're required to put a description. We're streaming software. Actually, it looked like it changed that already. So I'm going to copy that stream key, and I'll show you where in these settings you have to put your stream key, because it will change every time. So stream, Facebook Live, and I can show the stream key. And this says allow or ignore the streaming service settings. And again, I can do that if I want, but I'm just looking for trouble because I'm not smarter than the testing system is. Anyway, so I click OK. So that's each time I have to change this stream key to be the current one. There is a persistence stream key, but we don't use it because if it ever got out, then somebody could be feeding something to our site. We don't want to have that happen. At least I don't want to have that happen. Yeah, so once you learn how to do it, though, it's pretty simple. Say OK. Again, we're ready to stream. We're ready to stream here on our OBS, and we're ready to stream here on Facebook, but we don't have go live, and that's because we're not yet sending information to the internet. So I tell OBS to start streaming. As soon as it connects, go live will come up, right? and then I'm going to say go live. And now I'm back to my live streaming. Right, so again, it's going behind by 17 seconds, and that's okay. You can see the cameras are switching and everything is normal. Again, the other option is to end live video here, which I can do. But if we look at I mean, this is not an issue, but it's still sending a streaming signal to the internet, but it's just not being shown anywhere, so it doesn't change anything. But you stop streaming. So start OBS streaming, start Facebook streaming, and then either stop OBS or stop Facebook and then OBS. But OBS has to be stopped before you shut it down or whatever. Yeah, so that's it for Facebook. So before I get in here, I think I'll just bring up my YouTube site here. And I really haven't found a difference yet between the two. I've tried both pretty significantly, and there's some nice